Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to Intro to Computers. Today we're going to talk about computer cases. Computer cases are highly dependent on what you choose for how many graphics cards you want and what type of size motherboards you want, and then motherboard size determines how many video cards you can have on that motherboard. And there are a few different types, and for a case, it's basically, as you probably thought, it's the tower that you have, also known as towers. So they call them cases or towers. It holds all your parts inside and holds them all together and keeps them away from the elements, so it keeps away from water and other harmful things. And also holds fans to push airflow in and cool your components, as well as being able to route wires and holding your components up off the ground and trying to prevent vibrations. So there are a couple different types of cases. There are the full towers, which are the largest. They have the mid towers, micro ATX mini towers, mini ITX gaming cases, and HTPC media centers, which are home theater PC cases. And each of these usually symbolize what type of motherboard goes in there. Gaming motherboards are usually mixed. It's usually a mid-tower case or a full-tower case. So we're going to go over these, and I'll just jump in here really quick, even though these are shared. These are the only ones that are usually available right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the full tower. The full tower will have a lot of things. All the cases are very shared with what they have inside, so it's going to be very quick to go over what is contained and what to look at when you're looking at a case and where things are located. So the first thing, this is a Cooler Master half high airflow case, and I'm going to go over some of the stuff that says in here. USB 3.0, and the title usually means it is updated version, and also you notice it says full tower, so that denotes the size of the case. So let's go ahead and jump right into the specifications. So here's the brand, the series, and the model, and we can see that it's a full tower. The color is black, and the base, the case material it's made out of is steel, mainly, probably with plastic front parts. It's looking mainly steel to me though. So power supply, pretty standard. These are the certain types of power supply that are long enough to fit in here. So make sure that you have your power supply will fit in this case. And it says that it is a bottom-mounted power supply, which most modern cases are now bottom-mounted. And then here it has all the biggest important part about the case. It has what motherboards could fit in there. We have micro ATX, standard ATX, and extended ATX, and it says does not support dual xenon, which is probably an ATX, but it's probably just a little bit bigger. With the side panel, so it has a see-through side panel, which you see up there at the top. See side panel windows. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the expansion bays. So here it says external 5.1/4 bay drives. Those are your standard DVD. Your DVD bay drives. So here, if we zoom in on that, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 DVD bay drives. So you could fit 6 5.25-inch electronics that you want to fit in there. So you see, you could have stuff like USB hubs, fan controllers, a standard DVD drive. Maybe you want to set these up as fans, or put SSDs in there instead. Put SSDs or hard drives and put adapters in there to hold those. Or parts for water cooling reservoirs, etc., etc. Coolers, whatever. So those are in the front. The 5.25-inch bays are in the front, as you see there. And usually, most of the time now, we only have a DVD drive bay, and some people are getting rid of the DVD. So the DVD drive. So usually, you probably don't need that many if you're just going to probably go with fan controllers. So you can modify that to have fans. Of course, that's a full system mod if you want to do that. Because of course you could always mod it, but it would definitely void your warranty if you ever need to return it. So external 3.5 bay drives. Basically what that means is it says that it's adapted. So that means in here, probably this bottom one is adapted so you could put a smaller hard drive in there. And we're going to go over the hard drive right now. So the hard drive is this right here, 3.5 drive bays. So if we go back here and we look at the picture inside, you see this is probably the best picture. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 drive bays that are usually used. 3.5 drive bays that are used for DVD drive, not DVD drives, hard drives or SSDs. So it's storage drives. Like a hard drive that you store all your information on, your operating system, your games, your applications, your web browser, etc., would be stored in here in front of this fan right here. Then let's go over some other things here. Expansion slot. So what you're going to want to look for in this guy is here in the back of the case is the expansion slots, and that's where you're going to install, that's where the case is going to hold in your graphics card. So I believe we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's very important because a lot of the video cards these days will be 2 slots. It'll take up 2 expansion slots. So the most that you could have in here is 3, because you have 1, 2. So that's 1, 1, 2. This 2, 1, 2. That's 3, and you have 1 extra. So usually something in here would be like a capture card. So your first video card would probably start about here, and then take up this slot and this slot, this slot and this slot. So you can't do 4-way SLI, which is to, as you guys remember, is attach multiple cards together and have them work together with each other. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep going. Okay, so those are the expansion slots for the hard drives. Then we have the front panel, which you see right here. We have 2 USB 3.0s, and USB 3.0 is faster than USB 2.0, and we have 4 of those. And then we have this little plug right here, this little data plug. This one right here is that IEE one. This one right here, and then we have the eSATA and mic, and then audio. So here's the eSATA. So here's the eSATA, and here's the mic, and here's the audio, as well as the hard drive button and the power button, and the power indicator. So those are lit if your hard drive's working and if you have power. Then it explains what's installed with the case, or the possibilities that you have with the case for fan mounts. So these are in millimeter square. So usually fans are like 80 millimeter by 80 millimeter square. So all the sides are 80 millimeter, or all the sides are 140 millimeter, or all the sides are 230 millimeter. This has a very large 230 millimeter in the front, and in the top, and in the side. So that's why they call it high airflow. A lot of different fan mounting locations. No 80 millimeter fan slots usually, because that's way too small. Usually it's at least 120 plus for the size. So as you see, here's all the rest of the stuff and the explanations of all the fans that are installed stock. And you see that there's a couple, and it tells you how loud they are, the CFM, cubic feet per minute, and the RPM, etc. So yeah, so go ahead and check out this case if you want to see it further, but we're going to go ahead and go back and jump into a mid-tower case. So this is a standard one, like what I'm running right now. This is for the average person that doesn't want to do more than like 2 graphics cards. They usually go for something like this. So let's go ahead and jump on this one, the first one that comes up, and so we could go through what it's talking about here. So as you see the exact same thing here. It says USB 3.0, and this is an ATX mid-tower, and it says it's black and it's made of steel. And then here's the name, Antec 900 series. So here's the overview page, and we're going to jump straight to the specifications and see how it compares to everything else. So here we see that it's Antec 900. It's an ATX mid-tower, black, steel. Does not come bundled with the power supply. Some cases sometimes come bundled with a power supply, so you're ready to go. You just install your parts, and you're good to go. Bottom-mounted power supply. All newer cases have bottom-mounted power supplies. Motherboard capability, ATX and micro ATX. you notice that you have that you don't have any possibility for, I think this is either micro or mini. You see that we have no possibility for extended ATX. Extended ATX is only full tower, and so ATX is the largest we could go, but that is the average size for a motherboard. With side panel, yes, 5.25 drive bays. So let's go ahead and count them again. You notice that we have three. 1, 2, 3, and the other ones are for fans. So here's the 1, 2, 3. For where you can install, like I said, USB hubs, fan controllers, a control station to see all your temps and control your fan speed. So a fan controller, or a liquid cooling reservoir, or whatever you want. Okay, it has a side panel. I probably jumped over that. This is the adapter. So it comes with an adapter. If you look right here, you notice it comes with an adapter to adapt one of your hard drives to one of your DVD drive bays to if you want to store a hard drive or SSD in there. So let me see if I could find an inside shot of that. So it'd be like right here is your inside shot for putting your drive in there, but you can put it on any one of those that you want. So inside we got 6 3.5 drive bays, and those are for your DVD drives. Not your DVD drives. Wow, your hard drive and SSDs. So those guys are starting here. As you notice, the other ones are usually the other ones were it goes straight in towards the side of the case. So you insert in your drive this way, and it hits the back here. These ones are okay. So it all depends on what you want to do. But as you see here, well, you still have fans mounted there, and it's going to blow right across. So either way is okay. Some people prefer this one because it maximizes airflow over the other one, where it could be kind of cumbersome because usually there's only small holes cut through to where you could get any side air circulation. So we have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I guess 7 down there. I think it might have been 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you just count every other one outside of these black slits here. Or here you see a hole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also, I'm not necessarily suggesting any of these cases. I'm just using them as reference for any of these ones in the video series. I'm just using them as reference. I'm not saying, go out and buy these particular ones. I'm just giving you the power to know what's different between the two and find something that fits for you. Also, I'm going to be going over these a lot more in detail when we start building a computer and being able to install it to where you really get a solid idea of what these are for, and get you an idea on how to build your own. And that's only the real way of learning completely full circle around how these computers are put together, how to take one and upgrade it. All right, so we have the expansion. We have the expansion base for your capture cards or your video cards or your RAID cards or whatever you put inside the motherboard, inside the PCI Express slots. So these come out of the PCI Express slots and come out of the back, so you can plug in your video cables in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 of these, which is actually the same as the other one. So the other one doesn't really have very many expansion bays, probably because it's mounted pretty close. The other one's probably just wider. Alright, so here we have the front power and reset button with power LED, 2 USB 3.0s, an audio in and audio out, so mic and headset jack. And here you can see these guys at the top right here. Let me zoom in one more. And you see the IEE does have a plug for that. That actually might just be no, this is usually a reset button. So power button, reset button. This looks like the mic, headphone, and 2 USB 3.0s. And then here it says the fans that are installed, 120 millimeter fan. Let me show you. Let me see if I could show you these that are installed. So it has 2 front, and 1 rear. Okay, so it's pretty standard. So here, these are the 120 millimeter fans. Here's 1, 2, and then there's the back 120. And here's a good average, give you a good idea of the size of the fan. So here's a 120 millimeter, so it's 120 this way, 120 this way. We'll have a tutorial where you could look at those and be able to tell the difference between all of them. And then here it says the weight. Also, it's got a 200 millimeter top fan, which goes right there. As you can see, there's a big a bulge up there for a 200. And then here it says the weight, and it also talks about the rest of the features. So let's go ahead and go on to the next size. So these are micro ATX. So let's go ahead and jump on the first one and see what we see inside the name. Supports up to so this is a 12, so it's almost a foot and half an inch card. So that basically means you could fit that big of a video card in there. So you're going to have to check to make sure that you have clearance with your video cards. And supports up to 4 fans, USB 3.0, and it's a micro ATX case. Or a mini tower, I guess you could call it. Let's go and look at the specifications. So micro ATX so it's Roswell line M, and here is micro ATX mini tower, black, steel, no power supply bundled with it, so you have to buy a separate power supply. Power supply mount is top, which usually these could be like that. All different kinds of ways to mount it. Micro ATX only motherboard capability compatible, because we're getting smaller and smaller, and standard ATX will not fit in there. It does not have a see-through side panel. As you see, this is only just mesh for fans there. Expansion base, we have these many expansion base. We have 2 5 1/4. So here you see 1, 2, 5 1/4, and a floppy drive bay. Let me see. So where'd it go? So 2 5 1/4, 1 3.5 drive bay. So that when it says external, that means it's available to the outside of the case. So notice how it's external, so you could actually put something in there. So it's like a floppy drive could fit in there. And then we have 3 divided by 2. Okay, so let's check this out. So it's at 3 and 2. So I guess here we only have a couple drive bays. So it's for a very, very small portable home theater setup type thing, or a portable gaming system. So you see we only have a small 2 here, I guess, from looking at it from that angle. Yeah, like you're only going to be able to fit, maybe 1 in here, 1 down here, etc. Okay, expansion slots. We have 5 expansion slots. So here at the very, very bottom, that's why you can't mount your power supply down there. You have to mount your power supply up here, as you see the hole. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's where your I/O plate goes for your motherboard. It sticks out through that hole. So we have 5 front port, 2 USB 3.0s, USB 2.0, audio in, audio out, AC 97. The front fans, we got a front 120, rear 120, no side air duct. And here's the weight and all the extra stuff, which all the fans are pre-installed except for the 2 side 120s that are in these perforated pieces. So here, let me just show you the front panel there. So usually blue signifies a USB 3.0. So we have 2 USB 3.0s here. Wait for the, okay, there we go. 2 USB 3.0s, 2 USB 2.0s, headset, mic, power button. And that's basically it for this guy. So we have mini ITX. Let's go ahead, let's do this one. This one looks pretty cool. EVGA always makes some cool stuff. Okay, usually these small of cases come bundled with a power supply, because usually you won't buy a power supply small enough to fit inside these cases, so sometimes they want to keep you from making a mistake and give you the power supply standard. So it comes with an 80 plus gold, which is really good. We'll have one about power supplies eventually later on in the series. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So it says Mini ITX in the top, and it's black chassis with a 500 watt power supply. And notice it says power supply here, so usually that means that it's come bundled with something. EVGA, long model number, Mini ITX, black, yes, does come with a power supply bundled, 500 watt. It does not explain right here Mini ITX form factor, so that's basically the only thing that you could put in there is a Mini ITX. It doesn't actually specifically say that's here, but usually if you see Mini ITX, that's usually what you fit inside. 2 3.5 drive bays. It's so dark, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Let's see if we can find it from the side view. Yeah, so they're up there somewhere. That's where the small little drive bays are. I mean, with a larger. Sorry, it doesn't have a DVD drive bay. It only has a 3.5. So these are internals. So these are those ones that you see right here. Those hold your hard drives. There is no spots for any DVD drive or any of those other stuff on this particular model, which usually they'll either have 0 or they'll have 1. Okay, so you see we have two USB 3.0s on the front face and 2 support for 2 120mm fans. And so yeah, it comes with those drive bays. Okay, so let's look at, so they're right there on this particular model. All the stuff and the reset button, blah, 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 is right here on the side. That's where the USB is. Actually, the power button's right there. And that looks to be it for this one. Cool looking little case. Yeah. Okay. So that is a good idea of that size of case. And let's go over finally the home theater PC. Let's just jump on one of these. Fractal Design's a good one. As you notice here, doesn't look like any space for a DVD drive. So let's go ahead and see what we see here. It says Home Theater Media Center HTPC, which means that it's very, very small. It's supposed to be the size of like your cable provider box. So it's supposed to be very small. So it's a Node 605 Fractal Design. Colors black, aluminum and steel. ATX Media Center. So ATX, so it's pretty large but not very tall. Micro ATX, Mini ITX, and DTX. Never really heard DTX. No side window, don't really need it. External 5.5 1/4 drive bay. It says it does have one. Oh, there it is at the bottom. So I guess that uses like a what's it called? Almost looks like a laptop. Like maybe a laptop one will fit in there. So not completely sure. Okay, 3.5 drive bays. The Node series has been known to have plenty of drive bay slots. So here we have 1, 2, 1, 2, and they're a cool little patent pending design or whatever, the patented mount design. Very, very cool. People also sometimes use these as server boxes. So they'll put home storage server, basically. So we saw 4 in there, and still 7 expansion slots. So very, very long. You could fit a full ATX case in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 2 120mm fan slots. And here's a power supply mount in the back. Looks like just a standard power supply mount. And then here we have all of our front mounting stuff. Firewire, audio ports, card reader, and then so yeah, 2 here in the back, so 2 fan mounts in the back, and I guess they come with it. Supports full ATX motherboard, noise dampening materials, integrated card reader, and 2 fans included for 13 pounds. Pretty light. Alright, so that's basically it. We'll jump in and look at the, see Antec comes back. So these are all, we have full tower, we got mid tower, mid tower, mid tower, mid tower, mid tower, full tower. So they're you're gonna find each of them in your different perspective groups there. So you don't really need to go exactly for the gaming. This one probably optimizes cooling rather than the other stuff. Okay, so of course, I'd also recommend that you look at reviews to figure out how people do some of this stuff. But we'll go over that when we start building our own PC, and I'll tell you guys how to go about doing that. So these are the different types of towers, and it will definitely give you a lot better understanding of what each one is and why you could really have some serious problems if you pick the wrong one. And so it's a place, it basically holds your computer together, so your stuff needs to fit in there. You can't just, like some people could, but usually you don't use like a pizza box, right? Stuff could fall on it. So this is what's going to protect your stuff and be able to allow you to make it portable if you wanted to, and also be even a home theater setup. Alright, so this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. I would like to thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you like the series, please subscribe for more videos in this series and other series as well. And I will get around to writing some curriculum, not curriculum, but some text on this particular subject. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and take it easy. Peace.